Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Here in part 2, I'm going to discuss with you the idea of transition. I am not talking about transvestites or sex changes. I'm talking about transitioning out of this world. Okay? As my flesh dies and my soul goes into the spiritual realm, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to be having any children. Again, I am not going to be having any children. So my children won't compete with theirs, which means their children are going to inherit the earth, their offspring, to whatever degree, and for worse, I assure you, it's a story for another day, and I'm not going to have any offspring. So you would think that they would tolerate me, that they would compensate me and work around me, because I'm the most righteous person that ever lived. The least they could do is stop persecuting me and compensate me with at least $100 million for all the torture, all the persecution over decades. All the torture and all the persecution that has happened over decades. That's the least they could do, right? They tolerate each other. Republicans tolerate Democrats. Zionists tolerate pro-Palestinian people, okay, to a large degree. And they don't melt and die. Their stupid New World Order agenda keeps going. And they tolerate all kinds of people they don't like. So why won't they tolerate the expression and the freedom of the most righteous person out there? To make the argument that they're privileged and they can get away with it is asking for trouble, folks. Some things far transcend, having your money taken away or being crippled or killed. Some things far transcend that. A fate far worse than that is being dumb enough to persecute the most righteous person ever possible. Another fate that's far worse than that is being the offspring of someone who was dumb enough to persecute the most righteous person ever possible. In reality, even if nobody knows that's happened, because that's the reality of the situation. I'll give you an example if you need one. If someone won a Monopoly game, great, lovely. Okay, but if they're an idiot in real life, how did that help them? So your fantasy game doesn't matter much. And for you to argue, hey, that person's an English knight, or he's the king of England, or he's a rich Jew, or he's a token minority, lots of money. So what? You're playing a game. And you control the news and social media, right, to a large degree. So it's not very hard for you to keep me out of the news. So why don't you compensate me and work around me like many people who work for you have been saying to you. They say, it's not hard. Work around them. No code, no nonsense. I don't speak in code. It's not hard. Compensate me and work around me at least. God wants you to give me my rightful place, but you're not smart enough to do that. I have no doubt that you're not smart enough to do that. I have no doubt you'll probably say something stupid. Yes, when you're gone, we will do just that, and we will be spiritually connected or something. It's stupid. That's insufficient to God. So why won't you let me be? Give me money? Because when you cripple someone, you don't say, well, okay, we crippled you. Now we're going to leave you alone. I can't even jog because I'm so crippled. I can't do work for very long because I'm so crippled. So you don't just cripple someone, pretend you did, and say, well, leave you alone now. They need to compensate me and leave me alone. Okay? Pretty straightforward. And it's not hard to work around me. By now you should be somewhat tired of me saying that, maybe it's helping you think. Maybe you're in a trance-like state. Maybe you're a drug addict. Maybe you're crazier than a drug addict, or a CEO or some, a politician. Okay? By now, you should understand that I'm right. That's important here. So you've been paying attention. I want you to pause the video. First, listen to this. I want you to, before you pause the video, to ask yourself, why should they compensate me and work around me? So pause it and unpause it when you've answered that question. Okay, welcome back if you did that. Okay, the reason why they should compensate me and work around me is because I'm the most righteous person ever lived. And their meaningless titles mean nothing. And no one respects them or the game. Like they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm not a player. But they agree that you should hate the game. The game is stupid. It's immature. The word immature is a play on words for I, the M for magic, like Ronald McDonald doing the magic sign, right? And mature. If you play a magic game where you pretend to be mature in the game, but you're immature in reality, and you won't even work around the top martial artist ever possible, the most righteous person ever possible, then you are immature. And you're passing on those genes to your offspring. It's in your own wordplay. I even spelled it out for you. I even spelled it out for you. It's not that hard. Compensate me and work around me. Think you're the masters of the game? Then why is this so hard for you? If you're doing some kind of ritual, what fruit are you bearing? Look at the last 10 years. You look like complete idiots. Is it a magic spell to make you look like a complete idiot? To ruin the future for your offspring? Who's that stupid? What, you call that being the master magician or something? Thank goodness I'm not a magician. Thank goodness I'm not a witch, magician, wizard, sage, or any of that stupid stuff. That Harry Potter stupidity. Now some of you might say, well, you've been offensive to them. Okay, let me give you an example here. If it would cost you everything if you didn't compensate someone and work around him, would you care so much how offensive he's been to you? Or would you focus on what it's going to cost you if you don't do that? Now again, I'm not threatening their flesh. Okay? I don't make physical threats. I'm explaining to them that it's frustrating that they're so damn stupid. Okay? I'm a brain surgeon, so I'm a lot more intelligent than they are. Yeah, but I do a thorough assessment of people's intelligence. They're capable of being smart enough to realize that what they're doing is stupid. But they're not doing that. They're sitting there like the Penguin and Dr. Octopus from the Spider-Man comics books. You know, Dr. Doom, Magneto, Lex Luthor. They're sitting there like typical comic villains, movie villains, James Bond villains, corporate idiots. They're sitting there like complete dumbasses. Like, let's keep persecuting them. And it is unbelievably stupid. Okay, I was way more intelligent than them back when I was in boarding school as well. And I'd look at these dumbasses with their stupid cultural fanaticism. I'm like, why are you so dumb that you have private schools, boarding schools, reform schools, behavior modification programs, boot camps, military schools, even your Christian schools suck. Why are you people so dumb? And like, our culture, you don't like it, look, it's supposed to be the land of the free. Not if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Those type of bitches are supposed to be in another country. Okay? You want to be so white, why don't you go to fucking Europe? Okay? And we'll create a region here for all the immigrants from Europe, and you can go back to Europe and talk about how you're superior and the order that you want and give people their freedom. But if you're not going to do that, at least when it comes to the most righteous person ever, compensate them, work around them. I'm already 44, I'll be 45 soon. Eventually my flesh will die, I'll be gone, no children. That's simple. When all is said and done, if you didn't do that, in your genes that you're passing on will be the stupidest fucks ever possible, far worse than it otherwise would be. What the fuck don't you people get?